The University of Alabama fight song, Yay Alabama, is iconic for so many reasons, one including the amount of times we play it. We play it after every touchdown, we play it at pep rallies, we play it all the time. But what came before it, and what do the words really mean?
It's making life musical, hey!
The University of Alabama opened in 1831, but the Yay Alabama fight song was not written until 1926. Before Yay Alabama, they had several songs written for the university, and one of the most popular ones is the Alabama University March, written by P. Fitzer, and it was written dedicated to the faculty at the University of Alabama, but the problem with it was it sounded like it was written for the faculty, and it wasn't exciting at all. The university even experimented for a little bit of taking old songs and putting new words to it, but who really wants to sing their fight song to the hymn of the Battle Hymn of the Republic? Georgia! So for a while, the students and faculty were pushing hard for a fight song for the school. And in 1925, the University of Alabama Crimson Tide won a championship, and it was a huge deal for the school, and that kind of pushed everybody over the edge. They finally needed a fight song. So Rammer Jammer magazine in 1925 put out a competition saying the best fight song written for the school wins $50. And a guy by the name of Elfrid Sykes, the Crimson White editor, won. And to me it seems a little bit fishy. You know, he was the Crimson White editor. He's the guy that pushed so hard for the Yay Alabama fight song to be a thing, and he wins. So that's a little fishy, but I guess he is just a huge fan of the school. But what he does with the winnings, I'm a huge fan of. He spends the $50 to make an arrangement for the $1 Million Band, and that is fantastic, and that is the song of Yay Alabama that we know today. Now what I want to do is I want to go through the lyrics, because a lot of the time it works well, but there's some stuff in there that's just kind of like, well, why is that not in there, and why does it say that? Yay Alabama, drown 'em tide, every Bama man's behind you, hit your stride, go teach the Bulldogs to behave. And in this season, this is all about the 1925 championship season, and Georgia Bulldogs lost to Bama 27-0 that season. And you know, I think Georgia's just kind of used to losing to Bama, if you ask me.
Tagovailoa trying to make up for it, fires to the end zone, touchdown! Alabama wins!
Send the Yellow Jackets to a watery grave. Georgia Tech lost to Bama 7-0 in the rain that season. But the thing is, that works great if you consider, you know, we're the tide and water, you know, rushing over you. That still works. And if a man starts to weaken, that's a shame. For Bama's pluck and grit have writ her name in crimson flame. Fight on, fight on, fight on, men. Remember the Rose Bowl will win then. And, you know, why is the Rose Bowl thrown in there? Well, it's actually kind of crazy, and it blew my mind when I researched it. The Rose Bowl was this big controversial thing for the University of Alabama to go to. In 1925, they had a season that was 9-0, and they only gave up one touchdown the entire season, which is incredible. And they get invited to go to the Rose Bowl against the University of Washington Huskies. And the problem with that is so many people at this time think that football is just for the northern and western schools. That's where it's most popular. That's where the best players are. And, you know, the University of Alabama comes in and shows them up. They win 20-19 that year. It was not only a huge deal for the school, but it was also huge nationally. And basically, that was the starting point of the South showing everybody that they can play some football. So roll on to victory, hit your stride, your Dixie's football pride, Crimson Tide, roll tide, roll tide. And if you listen, there's not any Auburn, and honestly, that's one of the worst parts of the Yay Alabama fight song to me, because there's no Auburn, and I wish we were singing about how much we didn't like Auburn. It's just not in there. Why not? And it turns out that Alabama and Auburn were on a 40-year hiatus, I guess, where they just weren't playing against each other. So the competition, the feud, was just not there in 1925 and 1926. From not having a fight song at all to now playing it literally all the time when we're destroying everybody else that we play against, it is one of my favorite traditions about the University of Alabama. Let me know down below, what is your favorite University of Alabama tradition, and what do you think about the fight song? To wrap up the video, my little cousin Maddox has a message for you guys.
I hope you liked the video. Go make life musical, and I'll see you in the next one.
It's making life musical, hey!